his first inaugural speech given in 1861, "The best way to predict your future is to create it." Good afternoon, I'm Ramona Davis, and today I'll be speaking to you about climate change, more commonly known as global warming. As a child, I've always been intrigued by my environment. I always found it interesting how the Earth is able to function the way it does and able to support so many different lives. Now I'm in college and I've been doing so much research that has essentially answered all my questions. I now know how the world works and all the things that are limiting it from doing its job. One such thing is the actions of humans. Now I know many of you may not be huge environmentalists like I am, and may be wondering why I'm speaking to you today. Well, I know that you're all thinking about your futures, and you all envision this bright future for yourself. Now what if I told you that that future may not happen unless you change your actions toward the environment? This is why I'm speaking to you today. Today, I'll be telling you what global warming is, the impact it has on the society, why it needs to be controlled, and how exactly we can all contribute to controlling it. Global warming is the gradual increase of the Earth's relative temperature due to increased carbon dioxide levels. Now, carbon dioxide and temperature are both positively correlated. This means that as carbon dioxide levels increase, so does the temperature of the Earth. That can be seen in the graph right here. This graph shows two different lines. The blue line represents the global temperature, while the red line represents the carbon dioxide levels. As you can see, they both rise and lower at different points during the years. But as you might also realize is that each time it rises at a higher rate each time. This is consistent for both lines. So this therefore concludes my idea that carbon dioxide is the reason why global warming is increasing. According to David Archer, in his book published in 2012 entitled Global Warming: Understanding the Forecast, this world has a unique design. This design is that plants produce oxygen with the use of carbon dioxide, while us humans produce carbon dioxide with the use of oxygen. Now this cycle ensures that there's a balance of gases in the atmosphere. So when plants produce oxygen and we produce carbon dioxide, they both cancel each other out. But because of human actions, this balance has been disrupted. This can be seen in the following processes. The first one I'll highlight is deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees to make infrastructure. This is a process that's been done for centuries. And like I said before, if you cut down trees, you're basically cutting out all the oxygen in the air. So this means that there's a lower amount of oxygen and a higher amount of carbon dioxide. And this, like I said, contributes to global warming. Other things that contribute to global warming are the incorrect disposal of garbage. This can be seen in the burning of fossil fuels and the lack of recycling. Also, the production and use of cars that are not friendly for the environment. These cars use a lot of gas and produce a lot of exhaust, and that too contributes to higher CO2 levels and a higher chance of global warming. Despite all this data and research, there are a lot of people who don't believe that global warming exists. They completely just disregard the whole idea. Some people include Sarah Palin, Rush Limbaugh, and our President-elect, Donald Trump. Global warming is obviously going on, but these people, they usually refute this idea with saying that, oh, it's cold outside, so therefore global warming must not exist. But I'm here to prove to you that it does. Here in New York, we hate the cold. So some of us in here might be thinking that, yes, global warming is a good thing. But before you say that, let's think about the places that actually need the cold. For example, these majestic structures right here are called glaciers. These glaciers are inhabited by humans and animals such as polar bears, penguins, Arctic foxes, etc. But research has shown that these glaciers have been receding. This idea is seen in Neil Record's 1994 journal called Land Use and Causes of Global Warming. As you can see, the glacier is receding, and a lot of them have receded to the point where they're nothing but water. The picture on the left shows the Muir Glacier in Alaska on August 13, 1941. And the one on the right shows the exact same glacier, but this time it was taken on August 31st, 2004. And as you can see, all that ice has melted to nothing but water. And basic science tells you that when ice melts, the sea levels rise. According to the 2012 documentary Chasing Ice, produced by scientist Jeff Orlowski, another problem that arises from global warming is the rise of dangerous storms and hurricanes. When the sun hits the Earth's oceans, the Earth's oceans start to heat up. But usually, there's glaciers there to cool that water down. But like I said before, all those glaciers are receding. So without any glaciers, the water just keeps heating up. And this is exactly how these storms start to arise. With the rise of storms and the highering of the sea level, you usually have disasters such as this happening mostly at the coast of islands and at the coast of continents. This means that there's less space for the world's 7 billion people to live. By now, it should be evident that global warming is a problem. So now, I'm going to tell you what you can do to help to fix it. Fixing global warming is very simple. According to former Vice President Al Gore, in his book called The Inconvenient Truth, published in 2006, there are many ways you can fix global warming. You can start off simple by planting trees. Planting trees in your backyard and in city parks will really raise the oxygen level and try to level out that imbalance that we have with carbon dioxide. Another simple thing we could do is recycle. That way we could cut down way less trees and instead reuse them so that we have more oxygen in the environment. Another process is to use renewable energy such as solar energy. Another one would be to carpool or walk instead of driving around so many cars and polluting the environment with the exhaust. And another one would be to use fluorescent light bulbs instead of the more expensive and non-environmental friendly ones. There are other complex things that could be done as well. We could try to limit the amount of exhaust that is produced and the amount of fossil fuels that are burnt by companies. We can also try to ask car dealers to produce cars that are less harmful to the environment. If all these things are done, global warming could be drastically reduced to the point where it is almost completely gone. In conclusion, global warming is one of the primary things that are threatening this world. And it is really due to our actions towards the planet. We take this world for granted. We pollute it, we litter, we use all this energy that we don't have to, and just because we want to make our life easier. Now all those consequences for our actions are catching up to us, because now we have glaciers melting, our sea levels are rising, and we have all these storms that continue to destroy our cities. Global warming is an issue that needs to be addressed. And today I told you exactly how you can do so. You can start recycling, replanting trees, using materials, using green energy, and raising awareness. Doing this will not only reduce the impact that global warming has, but it will also ensure that you and your families have a beautiful future. My name is Ramona Davis. Thank you for listening.